We begin tonight at 5 with West Louisville's first new hospital getting ready to open in November in over a century, drawing more business now to 28th and West Broadway. It is our top story tonight. Hello, everybody. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Shay McAllister. Take a look here. Popeyes is the latest business to pop up there. But as our Ian Hardwitt and photojournalist Emma Gefter show us, one local record store has kept the block grooving for decades.
Near the West Broadway Kroger and Norton's new hospital, it's a booming first week of business for this Popeyes that officially opened on Monday. Piling inside for a lunch rush that had vehicles wrapped around the building, Anthony and Shonda Mask were excited for the new business, the 8th Kentuckiana location for Popeyes.
Been here my whole life as well, and it's a good thing, you know, having something different. It's always good to have something different. It brightens up the neighborhood.
Some people say with the businesses moving into this area that the West End's getting better, but it's been better for a while. Better Days West has been in the neighborhood for over 40 years. Owner Ben Jones took over the Lyles Mall spot in the 80s.
We are the Ali of the music industry. Better Days has been around, we survived. It's been hard and it's still hard. So we do need support. We definitely still need the support. So I'm glad my West End is bringing people, more people, good people, makes it work. That's just, it's real simple.
Jones credits his long-standing success to his selection, claiming the largest collection of R&B and gospel in the state. He hopes new customers will give soul records a spin, even if they come by for the soul food. In Louisville, Ian Hardwitt, WHAS11, on your side.
Well, Better Days Records is open from 11 to 7 every day except on Sunday, and it's inside Lyles Mall.
The new Norton Hospital is expected to open its doors coming up this November.
More local news here right at 5 o'clock. Today was the first meeting of the new Louisville Economic Development Alliance. This is a new public-private partnership with the goal to increase development here in Metro Louisville. Over 30 members will sit on this board with representatives from nonprofits, businesses, higher education, local government, and more being represented. Today, the meeting established the basics of the alliance and the overall goals. They aim to create a citywide brand, encourage new development, and support small businesses. Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg emphasizes every member should get involved.
We are hoping that everyone truly gets engaged, not just with the investment you've made in this organization, but with your or your colleagues' time. And we want your ideas on how to do this. There is no, there is a plan, but there is a lot left to fill in and a lot of room for input, for ideas, for direction that this organization goes to then really impact how our city moves forward.
Well, even though Greenberg was established as the head of this group right now, he made it clear he doesn't want to stay in that position forever. The organization aims to last throughout administrations to provide a consistent economic plan.
Now to a warning tonight from the Shelbyville police, urging the public to stay alert for credit card skimmers after they found one in a local grocery store. They posted this message on social media, explaining earlier this month they found a device that slipped over the existing card reader and was stealing customers' data. The police shared these photos to illustrate exactly what that skimmer would look like. They encourage customers to be vigilant when inserting their credit card and ask for a manager if you do think you see something suspicious.
Right here tonight at 5, noise complaints, violence, and short-term rentals taking over. There's some of the issues concerning folks who live in the Highlands of Louisville and nearby neighborhoods. And
today, people got to address those concerns, asking questions directly to code enforcement officials. Senior reporter Isaiah Kim Martinez has the takeaways.
A property that has a pink order to vacate sticker on the front window, does that originate from your office or the sheriff's office?
People living in Louisville's 8th and 9th districts, some of the most vocal in the city, have questions on how authorities are ensuring their neighborhoods remain orderly and how they address bad actors.
It just has me going twitchy.
Ray Brundage, one of several, describing his anxiety directly to codes and regulations. They held a public meeting for folks to learn about what they do and ask questions.
We go out there, we give them notice to make sure that they get it corrected.
Well, you might not know this, but Codes and Regulations is in charge of a lot here in the city, including notices for nuisance violations, 2 of which we've seen get a lot of scrutiny here in recent weeks. The city posted signs on bars Africanza Lounge and Cafe 360 last month. That came after a months-long investigation by the Alcoholic Beverage Control Unit, looking into complaints of disorderly environments. Over the last couple years, separate, deadly shootings have broken out nearby the businesses, and in one case, inside one of the bars. Africanza closed last week. Cafe 360 faces a proposal by the city to further restrict their hours of serving liquor, cutting it off at midnight.
There were times when the original Highlands were really in bad shape because of the bars.
Do you think that's still the case today?
Less. When they first started having 4 o'clock hours and so on, things got very bad for a while. They improved. Then they slipped again.
Brundage and others are keeping the pressure on Metro government to hear their concerns and act upon them. Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS 11 on your side.
Well, originally, codes and regulations had told us that Cafe 360 had until July 8th to respond to the city's proposal to stop them from serving alcohol at midnight.
But now in an update today, we're told that deadline that they gave us was inaccurate. Codes and Regulations now says the next hearing is going to be on August 8th. The business owners will have until August 15th to respond after that.
Well, if you've been feeling a little toasty these last few days, relief is now in sight. And for me, Doug, it can't come soon enough.
I agree. The cloud cover today and a little bit of rain showers really helped, especially overnight. Some people really got a good soaking. Let's check in with meteorologist Alden German on that. What have you been able to find today so far, Alden, about that rain?
Well, some areas to our south really did pick up a good soaking, whereas we just got a nice little drink of water here up in the metro. And southern Indiana really missed out on a lot of that heavier rain from overnight, but we do have a thin little line of some showers and storms pushing through southern Indiana right now. None of that is severe. Don't even really see any lightning with this, but Jefferson County, Indiana and Madison, you'll see a brief downpour here relatively soon. Another downpour that's going to skirt by Scottsburg momentarily, may actually move through Scottsburg, but Henryville, eventually you'll see some of that heavier rain, and it's not going to last for too long. This line is moving at a fairly decent clip, so expect it in and out of your neighborhood in a fairly short order. We can see that line of storms, some of those other storms that are a little bit further to the west, French Lake and Paoli area. 88 degrees right now. It feels like the lower 90s, and those winds gusting a little bit up to about 20 miles per hour. So very high humidity right now, but it's not going to be staying that way for too long. 84 in Brandenburg, Hardinsburg coming in now at 83 degrees, and we can see those other high heat index values at the moment. We're going to be drying out here over the next few days, and that's also going to be helping out our temperatures quite a bit. I'll show you that nice break from the high heat and humidity ahead.
All right, Alden, thank you very much. Now to that scolding from a Jefferson County judge in court today. The 2 teenagers accused of shooting and killing a student at his bus stop want their cases separated. You may remember this case. 16-year-old Tyree Smith was killed while waiting for his bus early in the morning in 2021. 2 16-year-olds were arrested in the case, Demarion Moore and Mackay Cable. Police say the teens drove by in a Jeep, spraying the bus stop with bullets. The investigation revealed they were targeting someone else, not the boy who was killed. In court today, the prosecution said the boys worked together in 3 separate shootings, meaning they should have their cases tried together. The defense attorneys argued for separate trials. Ultimately, the judge was focused on the suspect's conduct while in jail, even exchanging fiery words with them.
Do you think that I'm going to give somebody HIP, I'm going to give somebody probation, or I'm even going to think about an alternative sentencing plan or anything like that?
Yeah, she just has to hit jump.
And ultimately, she did say no matter what, those 2 teens will be tried together for the bus stop shooting. As for the other cases, the judge will make a final decision in the coming weeks.
More of our top stories here at 5. A Hanover, Indiana student from Clarksville, Indiana, arrested tonight after he was accused of assaulting a woman on the Handover College campus there. Indiana State Police say the assault happened in September of last year. A female student and 22-year-old Jackson Kruger were allegedly at an on-campus party at Handover College there together. The woman told police they walked to her dorm where Kruger allegedly sexually assaulted her. She immediately reported the assault to campus security, who then alerted Indiana State Police. Kruger was arrested and charged with rape. He is currently in the Jefferson County, Indiana jail tonight. That's in Madison. Handover College says he is still a student. New information just in at 5. Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell now joining the calls for new leadership at the U.S. Secret Service. In a tweet this afternoon, Mitch McConnell saying the nation deserves answers and accountability after the assassination attempt at Donald Trump at the campaign rally.
Earlier today, House Speaker Mike Johnson also called for the director of the U.S. Secret Service to resign. The speaker said when the House returns from recess, a bipartisan task force will be set up to investigate the shooting. Of course, this comes as the investigation into the shooter's actions revealed just minutes before shots were fired, he was approached by law enforcement. But before the officer could get to him, the alleged shooter backed up and faded into the crowd. Law enforcement told ABC News he left his tactical vest in his vehicle. It is now raising questions about whether he intended to survive or if he was on a suicide mission. Now, lawmakers are wondering if the shooter was able to get in that same building and how he was able to get on the same building where law enforcement officers were stationed.
There was local police in that building. There was local police in the area that were responsible for the outer perimeter of the building.
The local sheriff defending his team, telling ABC News each department had been given specific assignments and they carried them out. By the way, the head of the Secret Service did tell ABC News in an exclusive interview right here on Monday that she takes full responsibility for the gaps in security and she called it unacceptable.